Apologies for being somewhat hoarse. I have pretty bad allergies right now. That should be taken care of very shortly. I was shot for it yesterday. This portion of a video is to tell you about the Robe rail in the back of a 39 through 40 Spirit of Motion Graham and how they did it. Piece here is the Robe rail. This is an original piece of fabric off of this Robe rail, not off of the one out of the car we're doing, but it's the same idea. This is an original fabric piece. If you look here along the edge, you can see stitching. What was done by Graham Page in the day is they go through and they do a single side of a baseball stitch down the piece. And you see, since we have striped fabric, which is in fact what was in this car, we want those stripes to look pretty good when we're done. The stitching here and the stitching here went on the back side of the Robe rail. So when this is put together and you slide on this piece, you would have the keeper right here, the side of it. There, I got it to go through. The keeper goes like that. It's spring loaded, the spring being between the shoulder and here. Actually, I've got the keeper upside down. It should be this way. That locks the spring, so the whole spring goes in there. That entire assembly then is hidden in a piece that mounts the back of the seat. And if you see here, this portion goes into the back of the seat, but it'll lock in there and it won't turn. So what we'll have when we're done is we'll put it so you can't see the seam. It's on the back side and it'll never turn. That's the whole purpose at hand of how we're doing this. Now, to give you an idea, this type of fabric didn't need anything. It doesn't unravel. The fabric that was in this car has been reproduced. That's what we've got here. But this would unravel if I hadn't done something. So I have bonded muslin to the back of it and done that with stitch witchery of all things, because it allows me to have a fabric that doesn't totally unravel on the edge. And I'm going down here and sewing this with that reverse baseball stitch. It's slow work. I'm sure somebody who sews by hand all the time would be faster than I would be. Occasionally on this particular piece I could see where they would sew through the actual rope here and keep it from moving so much. So occasionally I do that. Most of the time I'm not. You want to sew your stitch, and because we have the stripes, I'm going to sew it like this, bring it through, and I'm lining the stripes up. And when I get most of the way through, you give it a good pull. And eventually they tighten up, and you can see the stitching. You see a little bit of the muslin, but none of that will show on the finish. And it really was stitched like that, like I showed you on the original piece. Now, originally the fabric is also under this piece and clearly crimped with a tremendous amount of pressure. I find this is unlikely to get open, so I have started it beyond there and fastened it into the piece here. When you put this on, you'll never know it. And in fact, I will put some form of, I'll probably tell you later here what I use, but some form of glue to ensure that that end will never come undone, besides the fact it's sewn on there. So that's how we're going to handle that. And both ends of these, as I showed you, have to be reassembled together. And you do this in a vise and push it down real hard, and you can put it back together and take it apart that way. So that is something most people that go see a car, which is now approaching, going to be 100 years old, not too many years, and they wondered, well, how it was done or whatever. Well, this is how it shows you. But even if you don't wonder, the stuff wasn't quite the way you think it would be, because I doubt many people, if anybody watching this would know, that's exactly how Graham Page did it back in the 1930s. Now we're putting the, putting the car back to that. So I'm going to continue sewing along and later on show you some of how the rest of this goes together. But I don't mind saying this is going to look really cool. And I should tell you this, most people don't know what a robe rail is for nowadays. This is not for pulling on to get out of the back seat. It goes on the back of the front seat. What it is for is hanging a blanket up. Because even though this car will have a heater, heaters were one, optional, and two, not real good in the 30s. You can get some heat in the front seat, maybe in the front passenger seat more than the driver's seat. Fact is, in the back seat, you were going to probably be cold, so you would have a lap robe or a blanket, which would hang on the robe rail, and you would pick it up and use it. Hence why it's called a robe rail, called it a lap robe. That's what it was for. That's what this piece in the car is for. Adds an appropriate and real detail. Oh, and by the way, these are not the ones we're using. We've got replated ones downstairs that we'll replace them with. This is just one of the originals off of this car. Not too bad, but you can see it's failing after about 80 years. But I'm going to continue on with this and maybe show you some more later. And again, I apologize for being hoarse from having allergies at the moment. Should go away shortly. Here you have the finished robe rail using the special fabric that matches exactly what was in the car that Kenny had replicated.